2 new Lowriders are coming out later this month in April, as well as what looks to be a DLC in May. So if you're short on cash, grab some shark cards from G2A. They're the cheapest. Use the link in the description and use code BOSS too. Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, we're doing another Q&A video where I take your questions from Twitter and I answer them all in this video. Now, in today's Q&A video, we're obviously going to be answering a bunch of epic questions, and if you guys want to get involved in the next one, all you have to do is go down in the description, follow me on Twitter, and use the hashtag AskBoss. Also, I might be doing an experiment with Snapchat. I actually just got a Snapchat. It's my official one. It's Mr. Boss Snaps. I'll put like the little QR code thing on the screen right now. So if you're watching on your phone or you want to go add me on there, you totally can. And you can check out pretty much what I'm doing. It'll be like a more behind the scenes kind of thing. So I thought that was pretty cool. But of course, that might just be an experiment. But for this Q&A, let's not waste any more time and let's get it started. All right, so our first question is really amazing. And it actually comes from Caleb. He tweets at me, aside from casinos/mansions, what is something already in the game you think Rockstar could hit a home run with in a future DLC? Hashtag AskBoss. So wow, that is a great question, Caleb, and it's one that I'm going to extend to you guys and that I want you to reply to in the comments section right now. So I've got 3 things in particular. The first of which is the stock market. I think that was a great feature for GTA 5 single player, and I think that it could be even better in Grand Theft Auto Online. It would be a way to create a more diverse and dynamic economy, but also provide some pretty cool ways to make money in online, which I think would be super cool, especially if you're pretty crafty and nifty with, of course, buying and selling and trading stocks. Number 2 would be being able to purchase, run, and own businesses in game. Very similar to the way we did in single player in Grand Theft Auto Vice City, where you could buy like nightclubs and you could buy like the Cherry Popper ice cream store. Rockstar's got a bunch of unbelievable brands and businesses in game, and they really don't let us do anything with them. They're pretty much just there for show, which is a real shame because, like I said, they've done an unbelievable job developing those brands and those businesses that we so know and love in the iconic GTA world. So I'd love to be able to, like I said, build your own kind of business enterprise. It's actually something I talked about in another video. And finally, last but not least, number 3 would be crew safe houses. It is kind of a shame that we've got all these awesome places to live, but they only essentially allow us to live there. Yes, we can invite people over, but there needs to be a safe house that's shared by a crew where just people can go in without having to request or ring the doorbell or whatever the case might be. And I definitely think these crew safe houses should have like unique features and obviously cool details that can't be found in other apartments and homes in the game. So those are kind of the 3 I'd love to see. Personally, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. And what do you think is already in the game that Rockstar could hit a home run with? Our next question comes from McTacky. He tweets at me, personally, do you think these lowriders are too much and getting a bit out of hand? Hashtag AskBoss. I don't think the lowriders are too much. I think the way that Rockstar have gone about doing them has kind of dragged them out a little bit too much. So when we got our original Lowriders DLC, it was really cool. It was 6 vehicles and they all came out at once, which was awesome. A lot of people said, that overwhelmingness is really fun because it allows you to explore and expand with different vehicles. And also, some people might not buy the 6 vehicles at once because they are pretty expensive. So this allows them to, maybe a month or 2 down the line, go back and revisit one of the vehicles they didn't get. However, with Lowriders Customs Classics, we obviously got the 3 vehicles that were released at once, and now they're doing like the week by week by week. And I don't think it's a bad strategy. I certainly don't think it's an okay strategy. But the fact that none of these vehicles are new, meaning they're just existing vehicles that we get to upgrade in a different body shop, that's where I think people are kind of getting sick of them. Because at least in the original Lowriders DLC, there were 2 new vehicles, that being the Faction and that being the Moonbeam. With the newest kind of update, there wasn't really anything new. There was a different version of the Virgo, there was a different version of the Faction, and of course we've had the Slam Van, and the 3 vehicles we're getting now, Sabre, Turbo, Minivan, Tornado, are simply obviously old vehicles we've had in the game. So yeah, I think I am getting a little bit worn out on Lowriders, but it's really not because of the Lowriders themselves. I think it's the way Rockstar have gone about doing them. They've just dragged them out a little too long than I would have preferred. Up next, we have a question question from King Satan, who tweets at me, hashtag AskBoss. Would an off-road truck shop in Blaine County for jacked up trucks, golf carts, and dune buggies be a good concept for a DLC? Yeah, I think that would be amazing. That's actually something I did not mention in my video the other day, talking about a Blaine County DLC, but another kind of Benny's-like shop for off-roading cars and super trucks would be amazing. Imagine being able to take the Sand King XL, or like you mentioned, a golf cart or a dune buggy, and transform it into this crazy concept of a creation in some sort of Blaine County auto body shop. I really do think that would be amazing, and it would also encourage people to go up north and explore Blaine County. That's one of the things that I've said is the biggest Achilles heel for Sandy Shores, Paleto Bay in Blaine County, is that Rockstar hasn't really given us a reason to go up there and explore. They provide no incentive to go up there in terms of really vehicles we could find, and an auto body shop that's located up there would certainly get people to go up there and hang out and have fun. And if you included that with new safe houses and I guess new clothing stores that could only be found up there, you'd really find yourself with a more populated and dynamic Blaine County setting. So I think that's a great idea, and that's obviously something that I didn't mention in my video the other day, but certainly that is really, really cool. So obviously, thank you for bringing that up, and I think that is just an awesome idea for Blaine County. Our next question comes from Gaming Addict HD. He tweets at me, do you think a Hipster Part 2 update could be added to GTA Online? If so, what would be added? That's right, some of you guys might not even know what the Hipster DLC was. That came a long time ago. I believe back in 2014. It added a bunch of awesome vehicles and clothing. I think it added the Panto, it added the Dubsta 6x6, the Volcar Warrener. I think there was a few other vehicles that were really, really cool also. And it was just a really awesome update. The clothing was sweet. Like I said, vehicles were amazing. And yeah, a part 2 would be pretty awesome. I'd love to see what Rockstar would come up with for kind of a hipster-like theme. Now that they have the power of obviously the PC and the current-gen consoles, it'd be really awesome to see what they might be able to come up with. So I chose this question because that really isn't the DLC that a lot of people want a second or a third part added. A lot of people are like, make Ill-Gotten Gains Part 3, or, make Executives and Other Criminals Part 2. Not many people mention Hipster Part 2, but I really do think it could be an awesome addition to Grand Theft Auto Online, especially like I said, now that we're on those next generation systems. Up next, we got a question from Alonzo. He tweets at me, if there was to be another car class added into Grand Theft Auto 5, what car class would you like? Hashtag AskBoss. Okay, Alonzo, there's two in particular. The first of which would be a tuner class. I'm guessing it would either be tuner or racing style cars. I think that would be really, really awesome. There's obviously a huge community that wants to see more tuning and racing style vehicles. And I think that if you were to do that, another mod shop like Benny's would certainly be necessary. And the second class I'd like to see is the hyper class. So a class above, I guess, the supercars that would include like the Lycan Hyper Sport, some of the many other crazy fast cars in game. I think that would be really cool. Now, obviously, balancing would be an issue. How would you balance supercars and hypercars? How would you determine which one is supposed to go faster? What the performance is going to be like. So there'd clearly be a lot of bumps and ifs in the road right there. But tuner class and hyper class is one that I definitely want to see added. Up next, we had a question from Dubs. He tweets at me, do you think the minivan will be better than the Moonbeam knowing they have the same customization? Hashtag AskBoss. That's right. So in just a few short days or hours, depending on whenever you're watching this video, the Minivan Custom is going to come out in Grand Theft Auto Online. It's the second Lowrider coming out in April. And as someone who has been able to customize the Minivan Custom, I guess you could say, I got it in my game and online. I've been able to customize it a little bit. It's very similar in terms of what you can do to the Moonbeam. Obviously, both of them are vans. Pretty much the only difference is the Moonbeam is more of an actual van. The minivan is clearly a minivan. So the customization in terms of the inside is very, very similar. Obviously, you're going to have differences in terms of the liveries and the little details. So it's certainly going to be worth it, but just do know that it is going to be very similar to the Moonbeam. So if you're a big fan of the Moonbeam, you're probably going to love the minivan. If you didn't love the Moonbeam, then you might want to stick away from the minivan until you know that it might be pretty cool. And speaking of that, I'm going to be doing, like I said, all sorts of live streams, videos showing off the customization. We're going to be doing car shows. So if you're on the fence about buying the minivan and spending all that money on the upgrades, on Tuesday, like I said, I'm going to have tons of videos on the channel that will give you a better idea on if you actually want to spend the money, go into Benny's, and upgrade the minivan. I personally think it's going to be rather cool. I think these next two are going to be awesome, the Sabre Turbo and the minivan. So I'm actually pretty excited for Tuesday. All right, and our final question comes from One Leon. He tweets at me, do you think we are going to get a real, in quotes, apartment editor in Grand Theft Auto Online in the near future? Hashtag Ask Boss. All right, so the only way I would see something like this coming into the game is if we were to get formal mansions. That's right, because honestly, if Rockstar wasn't going to add the apartment customization creator with these new penthouse apartments, which are incredibly detailed and have lots of potential to have some sort of editor and creator, then they're not going to do it unless they add something even bigger. And the only really other thing I think they could add is formal mansions. And if they were to do that, I would almost see a creator being necessary just due to the sheer scale and size that those mansions would most likely be. That's like one of the one or two things that I'm last waiting for Rockstar to add it online is real mansions. And if an apartment editor did not come with that, it would be slightly disappointing. Now, I know this game isn't like The Sims. It's not supposed to be apartment simulator, but it's still a nice feature that I think they could easily add into something like mansions or big homes in the game. But anyways, that's all the questions that we're going to be answering, like I said, in this week's Q&A. Hopefully you did enjoy. As always, if you want to get involved in the next one, be sure to follow me on Twitter with the link in the description and possibly on Snapchat. Again, I might be doing some experimenting on there. If you did go on to enjoy, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.